This video is not sponsored. All products were bought by myself. Hey, how y'all doing? NYC Traveler here. I'm going to move my Z8 out of the way. I'm going to move the FX3 out of the way. Nikon and Sony. I'm recording on the Nikon Z30. Z for those of you who say it. And we are unboxing. I'm sorry, I got to look at my phone to see what I ordered here. We are unboxing the Light Dial 12-inch by 12. I don't know what's clicking in here. 30 by 30 centimeters for those of you on the metric system. White balance, 18% gray reference reflector, gray card with a carry bag. And for some reason, it is all in here. Now, I already have, let me get what I have. For more tips for your trips, please like and subscribe. Alright, I already have the Pixis camera color correction white balance card. 4-in-1 color correction card set by Pixis. 18% gray, black matte, premium exposure card set with free camera lens. I don't know what I did with the lens. The lens cloth. I don't know what I did with that. But I already have this. And it's got, yeah, here's the matte black, there's the 18% gray, there's the white, and here is the color. Now, I already have that, and I love the fact that it came with this. You can take this strap off, and the strap is actually a ruler. How cool is that? Okay, so I have that. But the idea of the other thing kind of appealed to me. This is fine when I'm in the field. And then I thought, and I like to keep something separate because sometimes you just really want to grab the bag and go. Packing your bag from scratch every other day when you're about to go out into the field, it could really be a pain. So I don't have double of everything, but I can certainly, this will definitely stay in, and it might stay in the bag I take with me daily, when I just even have my phone. And then I have this. Okay, so as usual, I did not bring my box cutter here, so we're going to just do it on our own. Okay, and oh, this is cool. So it comes in this zippered bag, which has a loop. All right, so there's the loop there. So if you have to hang it on something or something like that. And then I'm sure it's going to be like, your pop-up disc. If you're familiar how to fold these things, you just do it. Oh, so there you go. So this is the 18% gray. This is the white. And one reason why I decided to get this is because size. Note this. When you white balance with this, you really have to be kind of close. I can't even show you how far up to the lens I have to do this. But when I balance with this, I didn't have to go so. And it's handy dandy for to carry in the field. So what you do is you just kind of twist. Those of us who have years of experience of folding these things up, you give it an S twist, and it goes right back in there. So, yeah, I don't know if it's going to go with me on, so I'm a travel blogger, so I'm not sure if it's going to go with me on a cruise, if it's going to go with me overseas. I can definitely see this going with me on a road trip, and going with me on my daily excursions around the city here. This one will still go with me. There's a purpose for it. And you know how we are with our gear. This is it. So, yep. So I got this. Great for manually white balancing, which all three of my cameras can do. Yes, even the Z30 here, it can white balance manually when I'm on manual. So, there you are. Hey, it's the NYC Traveler, and yeah, that's Mickey and Minnie behind me, and they're going to be the stars of today's show. Let's see. Okay, so I'm starting this on my phone. This is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And we're going to play around with white balance, just kind of white balancing a little bit, because you need to white balance when you are videoing. Can't white balance my phone. Really can't white balance my GoPro or the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. But when I am recording with my Sony FX3A or my Nikon Z8, or my Nikon Z30, I can white balance those, especially when I am shooting manual, which I do a lot, especially with the Z8 and the FX3A. So we're going to white balance them, and then we're going to see how they perform against each other over against Mickey and Minnie over there. All right, I'm going to use my bigger screen here instead of the little card. When I'm out, this little card, I guess it's okay when I'm out. Notice the two different whites though. That's a little disturbing. But here, I'm home, so here we go. All right, so what we need to do for the Z30 here is that we're going to go to the I button. We're going to go to the preset, and we're going to hold that. Normally it says white balance, or it says whatever you said it before. For example, if I had it here, then that's what you would see. So the white balance is down there, but up there you see where it says white balance. Okay, so, all right, let's get the phone cooperating here. So let's go down here, going over to preset. We're going to hold this until it starts blinking. And then we're going to put it there. We're going to click OK to measure. And as you can see, it has changed, and now we're good to go. So we're going to click the I again. Now we're going to record and see how this thing records, whether it's going to get some good colors or not. So in case someone wanted to know, I have, let me see, can't see if there it is. Here, up there, you can see where I have the frames per second at 30 frames per second, and I have my shutter speed at 1/60, because what you want to do is that you want to double your shutter speed when you are setting the frame rate. If I had it 24 frames per second, it's hard to do 1/48, so 1/50 would have been okay. But that's what we have, and that's why I set the ISO to vary. So as you can see, it's moving right now as I move around. You see, that's why I set it that way, so that I can play around with the aperture if I wanted to. And this is the iPhone as a control measure. You can't set the white balance with the iPhone. Too bad. Okay, to make it fair, I am shooting all of the cameras with the internal mic. And this is the camera on auto. So it's actually not doing a very bad job, honestly. But I picked this because the colors are slightly muted. They're not overly vibrant. And also because it did have a lot of colors and different colors in it. So that you can see if it picked up, there's really not a bright red here. So, but it's also fun to use. So there you go. Okay, here we are on the Z30, and I'm recording with the colors. And what I see on my screen and what I see when I look up with my eyes, it looks pretty accurate. In fact, I have the shutter speed set at 1/60 because I have the frames per second set at 30. Hopefully you see this, but on my end, I can see that setting the Nikon Z30 at manual and white balancing really works well. Okay, so that was the Nikon Z30. Even though I really like this camera, but I can't use it long-term recording it. It gets overheated after 30 minutes. Now we're going to work on the Nikon Z8. Now, why would I want to video with a camera that's really great at photography? Well, actually, a couple of occasions have come up where I have been limited in what I was able to take. Sometimes I'll just bring a phone. I'll bring the Nikon Z8. Or I might be lucky enough to be able to have a GoPro with me so I can do some really fast and action things. And I have the Z8 for other things. But that's why. So it has a video feature on it. Let's go for it. So here we go with the Z8. I actually set the ISO settings to be auto, and I set the maximum to be the same settings as the FX3, the 12,800 here for that, and I set the sensitivity mode to be 800. Before we white balance, you can see now I'm on manual. You see that I have my 30 frames per second there, and I was able to change the shutter speed to 1/60. You see the ISO is auto, so I'm going to play around with the exposure by manipulating the aperture. What happens if you want a different depth of field? Then what you want to do is that you want to bring a filter with you, a neutral density filter, and then you might want to play around with the ISO and change something. But when you're videoing, if you're doing like travel blogging and running gun, sometimes you just have to, you just have to wing it, and you have to figure it out, while you're there. I probably would change the f-stop here because I have the ISO auto. I would be manipulating the f-stop so I can change the depth of field, and I hope that the ISO keeps up with me. I'm gonna hit same as the Nikon Z30 because it's Nikon. Hit the I button. I'm going into the white balance. It was preset for something else. I'm gonna hit the OK button. It says to measure. Hit OK to measure. Data acquired. And we're good to go. I hope. We shall soon see. Okay, I'm on the Nikon Z8. This is the program feature. It doesn't exactly have a total auto feature. It has a program feature. Some of the features you can change and move around. The ISO is set at auto. It's recording itself at 2200. I have it set for 30 frames per second. And because it's on program, for some reason, the shutter speed is going at 1/30. So we're going to try to see why. All right, here's Mickey and Minnie. They look a little dark to me. So, do I want to change the f-stop, which I really can't do too much on this lens because this is a very slow lens. This is designed for outside. It only goes down to f4. As you can see, that's 22, that's 11, that's 8. So, we're going to play around with the ISO. I set the ISO at 25,600. That helped a bit. The Sony FX3 slightly different because this is made to be a cinema camera. All right, so I'm in, now this is the FX3, so yours may read differently. I'm in the movie mode. Then I went into menu. First, let me get out of here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, in image quality, file format, I'm in the S4K. I decided to leave it there. Movie settings, I went into 29.97, which is equivalent to the 30. Well, not equivalent, but that's as close as I'm going to get. And I'm in the highest bit. By the way, for the Z8, I did the same thing, 10 bit for the Z8. Okay, so now come out of here. I'm in fixed. Got that. Log shooting, I'm in flexible ISO because I'm going to need that. I'm going to be in the Sony, the S-Gamut 3 point cine / S-Log3. I don't have my LUT thing in there right now, and I don't want to embed the LUT anyway. I don't have my LUT uploaded yet. So that's where we are. And everything else, shooting mode and all that stuff, not necessary for right now for what we want to do. Okay, in this menu here, exposure color, moving over, going to white balance, I'm going to go to custom 1 to set it. All right, as you can see, everything looks green in my my Sony FX3. So we're going to try to white balance here. Exposure color, white balance. I want to do it in custom. I'm already there. Hit set. I hit capture. And there we go. Oh my God, that was so easy. That was so easy. Now let's record. Okay, we're going to put these into the computer and see how everything came out and see how they compare. And then that'll be that. All right, I'm recording here, Mickey and Minnie. I'm actually getting in the way. That's me in the light. Sorry about that. And I'm using the internal mic, which everyone knows is not the best. And I have the LUT on so I can just kind of see what it is. It's actually recording pretty well. And I'm pretty happy with the colors here. Not bad. By LUT on, I meant I had the LUT on my display so I can get an idea of what the footage would look like when I applied the LUT in editing. It was actually flat the way you saw it in the first frame. So as you can see, I have some practicing to do with my Nikon Z8. I don't mind showing you the mistakes because I'm practicing and I don't want to do it on the gig, and it's okay for me to do this right now. But it's nice to know that in a pinch, I can record in the program mode and it will come out somewhat okay, and then I can always color grade and do adjustments in editing. Okay, I'm your NYC Traveler. We have been messing around with our white balances to make sure that if we want to or if we needed to, that we can white balance manually with the 3 cameras that can do so. When we're really running gunning it with the iPhone, the GoPro, or the DJI Pocket Osmo, sometimes we just have to go with the flow and go with the automatic white balance that those cameras produce. But when we're using the other cameras and if we can white balance, we will. Okay? Oh, and Mickey and Minnie, they say goodbye too. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Live, love, travel. For more tips for your trips, please like and subscribe.